Crusty, overall it was a very good year for you. All vendor service level agreements were met or exceeded. The system was never down during the entire year. You handled 300% growth in capacity without ever complaining. All system upgrades were performed on time and within budget. So, all things considered, your overall performance rating is average.
Average? Really? Not fantastic? Not outstanding? Just average?
Yes, average. All ZOS system programmers are expected to perform miracles on a daily basis. It says so right here in your performance plan.
Do I at least get a raise?
No.
Do I finally get to retire after 46 years on the job?
Crusty, you crack me up. You are not retiring anytime soon. Your pension has been woefully underfunded. You have to keep working just to pay your bills.
So what do I get for all my efforts?
You get to do it all over again this year. Now please, get back to work. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to tell you about a new policy around vacation time. No more rollovers. It's use it or lose it.
I have over 700 days of saved vacation.
Technically, you can take your vacation days whenever you want. But in your case, we can't even let you out of the building. You have to be here to keep our systems running. You're the only one who can do it.
But I earned all that vacation time.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Crusty. I've hired a new college graduate, a CS major. The sooner you get her trained, the sooner you can take those vacation days.
Well, that doesn't sound too difficult, training a CS major. Where did she study? Marist College? RPI? MIT?
No, none of those techie schools. She comes to us from the Culinary Institute of America.
You hired a Culinary Institute of America graduate to be a ZOS system programmer?
Well, she's written papers using a word processor, and she knows how to spell Windows, and she was available right away. And, if we ever need someone to cook the books.
Why would a CIA graduate even want to consider a system programming job?
Well, apparently there's not much demand for a crepe Suzette major.
All right. When does she start?
She's actually waiting for you in your office right now.
Hi, I'm Susie Newhire. You must be Crusty?
I am.
I'm really anxious to learn everything there's to know about the ZOS.
Susie, we've got to start with something simple. And as luck would have it, we've got a module with an OC4 problem. So what I want you to do is I want you to look into this. Take this dump, and I want you to read through it. After you read through it and find the problem, I want you to reassemble the module and get it over to the QA test systems. Once they're over there, I need you to do a unit test, a function test, and a component test. After all that's done, you might as well follow up with a system test, a regression test, and throw in a performance test as well. Then get all the appropriate sign-offs and get this coded up into an SMPE format so that we can have this on the system by tomorrow at 6 a.m.
But Crusty, Emma said you were going to train me first.
Susie, this is your training. It's trial by fire in the School of Hard Knocks. Now get to it.
Okay, I'm on it.
How's it going?
Great.
Did you find the OC4?
Well, I tried to read the dump like you said, but it didn't have any words in it, just numbers and letters. At first, I didn't even know what the OC was for, but eventually I found it in the title. I still don't know what the OC is for. I also found out I don't know how to assemble things, even though I used to play with Legos. But the test guys seemed really friendly, but they wouldn't let me near their system.
I need that OC4 fixed, and it's obvious you're not going to come up with a solution on your own. I'll have to come up with another way to get you trained. I've got some CDs and some DVDs.
I really like music, so.
Not those kinds of CDs. These are soft copy books, Susie. So I want you to be a sponge. You have to just soak up all this good knowledge and understanding. Let's see here. We've got the assembler manual. We've got the DFSMS book. We've got WebSphere, IMS. Here's DB2. Get on that. Let's have those books memorized soon.
Okay.
How's it going, Susie? What happened now?
I was reading the principles of operations for the 6 times my eyes came out.
I've got 4 words for you. CF Eye Care.
CF Eye Care? Is that some kind of eye doctor?
No. See if I care that your eyes have fallen out. How am I going to get you trained, Susie? I tried having you learn in the School of Hard Knocks. I tried having you learn all the system documentation by memorizing it. None of that has worked. But I do know what will work. I'm going to start an internal training program. I'm going to be your instructor, I'll be your mentor, and your guiding light.
That sounds wonderful. Anything's better than those old boring books.
Well, we should get started right away, but I seem to see we have a problem on the system. The system's running way too slow.
Now, Crusty?
Not now, Susie. The system's running too fast.
Too fast? Really? Is that possible?
Susie, come back after lunch, okay?
I'm ready, Crusty.
Susie, I'm sorry. I'm really behind on the Java code deadline. I'm going to need some more time. Can you come back a little later, please?
Crusty, this just isn't working. I'm gonna need a little more time to learn anything about the ZOS.
You're right, Susie. I've got some time before my next meeting. Why don't you have a seat and let's get started with some basics. Let's start with TSO ISPF, which is the interactive component of ZOS. Unless, of course, we're talking about ZOS Unix, in which case it's the interactive component of ZOS. But I digress. Let's talk about the data sets in TSO. There are 3 data sets you need to know about. All right, now in TSO, we've got a PDS. Physical sequential. PDS is nothing more than a collection of physical everybody knows that you can't manipulate a VCM. And the collection is referred to as a library. Of course, we're talking about PDS in a library. So if you have a KSDS, and it's easy to remember that because they almost sound any questions? Yes. And you can use a program. Okay, now you're probably wondering. You've got to stop ciphering between PDS or else we're not going to make any progress. Let's get back to TSO.
This is all very interesting, but a little too fast for me. I'm gonna need just a little more time for all of this wisdom to sink in.
I don't have any more time, Susie. I wish I could give this training problem to someone else. Aha, the IDCP. Susie, we're going to get you enrolled in a ZOS class at the IDCP.
We can't travel. There's no budget for it.
Not a problem. These classes are all online, Susie.
But I start working the graveyard shift next week.
And not a moment too soon. They use a course management system. You can work on the class materials anytime you want. You can study at your convenience.
But I bet they cost a fortune.
I'll get you enrolled using my corporate charge card, and when the charges for tuition hit Emma's departmental accounts, she probably won't even notice. It'll just be a rounding error.
One last question, and I don't mean any disrespect, but are the instructors like you know, smart, knowledgeable, but only able to speak in acronyms and technical jargon?
No, Susie, I think they're really good. They take the time to answer all your questions. They give you the material you need when you need it, and they give you a solid base to work from so you can continue to grow your ZOS skills.
When do we start?
Let's go to the IDCP website and see if we can get you enrolled right now. Why didn't I think of this sooner?
Oh, hi. So, I examined the contents of the program register, and I found out what was in the base register, which probably was the cause of the OC4.
OC4? You finally know what an OC4 is?
Sure. Program check. Any system programmer worth his green card knows what an OC4 is.
Wow, Susie, I'm really impressed. Your assembler skills are coming along quickly.
Well, the IDCP hands-on lab really helps. So, another question. For a VSAM KSDS, what happens when there's no free available space? Is that a CI split?
Well, you have to worry about that when you're inserting records in the KSDS. And then you have to worry about a CI split or a CA split. So if we start understanding what those mean, a control interval split happens before a control area split.
So, Susie, another outstanding year for you. Your system had 0 downtime and all upgrades went off without a hitch. So you're about average.
I know. About average for a ZOS programmer. Anything else?
I just hired a new CS major for that system programmer trainee position. He starts on Monday, and you're going to be in charge of training him.
CS major? I sure hope you mean computer science.
No. He was a crepe Suzette major.
Here we go again. At least I know how to get a ZOS programmer up and running.
Oh, Crusty, tell us the story about the East Day you wrote that saved the ZOS from crashing.
Oh no, Crusty, I want to hear the one about the Hurricane Sandy disaster recovery that worked flawlessly.
I like the story about your ZOS exits, Crusty. Tell us that one.
Now, ladies, there's plenty of time for those stories and many more. But first, we should think about getting something to eat. I'll treat you all to my favorite French food, crepe Suzettes, and of course another glass of rosé. And then I'll tell you one of my favorite stories, the time I single-handedly did a push-pull server upgrade combined with a ZOS migration release, all in under 4 hours.
But Crusty, last time you said it took 8 hours.
I know, but these stories just keep getting better and better every time I tell them.